welcome real estate fans to another episode of Seattle's Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Dan Edwards, the managing broker of the Seattle real estate team here in the greater Seattle area and serving the Eastside and everywhere in Washington State we can help you. It's Wednesday, April 3rd, 2024. We're coming to you live from Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Please feel free to send us your questions on any of those platforms. We can answer any questions in real time. Also, if you are watching this, please press the subscribe button, which might be over here. I think so. It's over here. Subscribe and the little notification bell so that you hear when we're going live and when new editions are posted. You can also listen to us on all your favorite podcasting software, whether it be Apple Podcast or Spotify. You will find us there. Real estate fans, we've got a great show today. We're going to start off with our Eastside edition of what you need to know about moving to Seattle. Then we're going to have a great mortgage moment with our good friend Tucker. We're going to be talking about down payments. And then we will finish off with our good friend Doug Peterson, Get Priorities Straight. We're going to talk about where did all my money go? So it's going to be a great conversation today. I look forward to answering your questions. We've got some new bumpers here. So let's get started with our Real Talk segment. Okay, that was weird. Like the video started and stopped. Can we try it again? Must be a bandwidth issue. We were going to be like dazzling you with all this cool stuff. Whatever. I don't know what's going on with that. All right. So today's topic is, hey, so you're moving to Seattle, right? Last week we did the Eastside edition, the Seattle edition. I was wearing my flannel today, a more traditional casual wear Eastside. So the first thing you need to know when we are considering a move to Seattle and considering the Eastside is the Eastside is located east of Lake Washington. Now we'll come back to why that's important, but essentially, if you take a map of Seattle and you look at it from the sky, in last week's episode we talked about this giant lake in the middle of Seattle, the city of Seattle. Technically, it's not. It's to the east of the city limits of Seattle, because directly east of that lake, as the crow flies, is the city of Bellevue. City of Bellevue is the kind of economic hub, if you will, of the east side. So essentially all things flow towards it. Of course, we've got other cities as well. We've got cities like Redmond and Kirkland, and we'll talk about some more of the other suburbs and cities on the east side. So another thing that you need to know about moving to Seattle or the east side is the east side is closer to the mountains. So Seattle itself is right there on Elliott Bay. And of course, there are mountains to the west, which are the Olympic Mountains. But for the east side, our Cascades are the mountain range to the east. So living on the east side, you don't have to cut through traffic to get to the mountains. I think that's a really important consideration, especially if you enjoy hiking, biking, mountain biking, regular biking, if you like winter sports like skiing and inner tubing. You're about 20 minutes closer to those mountains. Another thing that you need to know if you're thinking about moving to Seattle and the east side is the school districts are better. It is a statistical fact, I guess is another way to put it, that stuff on the east side, schools on the east side just are a little bit better. So I won't knock Seattle schools any more than that. I'll just say the ones on the east side are better. Number 4 thing you need to know is Boeing, which is the company that builds all those airplanes, those big 737s. Actually, the Renton plant, which builds a majority of 737s, is down in the south part of the east side. So a lot of the traffic flows in that direction in the mornings when people are on their way to work. Also coming up from Kent, which is in southeastern King County, you have that Boeing plant, Renton. And I would say Renton kind of marks the southernmost tip of what we call the east side. Some would argue that it's not part of. I wouldn't. I say it's totally fine. One of our good friends, Tucker, lives in that area. So I'm not saying he's not an east sider. He's definitely on the east side of Lake Washington. But Kent would be a little too far to be considered the east side. Redmond. So cities. So yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is the number 5 thing you need to know is Redmond, Bellevue, and Kirkland. These plus the kind of the surrounding areas are known as the tech epicenter. Now you have Microsoft, who founded the personal computer industry, right? Microsoft. Then you have Google now in the area in Kirkland. You also have Amazon has some campuses over on the east side, and let's see. Oh, I know it. Renton is it Renton or Kent that has Blue Origin? Let's see. We'll see. My fact checkers tell me on this one. I think it's Kent. So not necessarily on the east side, but if you are living on the east side, commuting down to Blue Origin. So definitely innovation and technology, aerospace and technology on the east side. Lots and lots of it. Okay, let's also, the number 6 thing you need to know is more suburban style neighborhoods. Some of the neighborhoods we talked about last year were a little bit more urban. I wouldn't say that they aren't family friendly, but I would say this is more of a suburbs style neighborhoods. So you have some tremendous view neighborhoods like Newport Hills. You've got some bedroom communities like Sammamish, which is a city. You've got some waterfront property between small and medium-sized lakes like Cottage Lake up in Woodinville. Lake Sammamish is a big, good-sized lake. We'll talk a little bit about that. But okay, the number 7 thing you need to know is casual fashion, but a little more formal than Seattle. So generally, work casual is the deal, but there's probably a few more people that dress to the nines on the east side. I'm not judging anybody from Seattle. I prefer to dress down. I'm just saying that you're going to find more. In downtown Bellevue, you've got Neiman Marcus, you have the W Hotel, etc. So number 8 thing you need to know is there is public transportation, and the light rail, which spans from SeaTac, which is south of Seattle, the airport, will go through Seattle, across the I-90 bridge, and into Bellevue, and all the way out to Redmond. So that, according to the latest news reports, should start running April 27th. That was in our article in the Seattle Times that I just read. The number 9, and the thing is it's connected to the northbound lane train that also goes through the University of Washington and all the way up to Northgate and Linwood. Linwood won't be open until maybe 2 years from now. I'm not sure. So public transportation, also buses and stuff like that, but the light rail is a huge new thing that's happening. Number 9, the thing that you need to know about the east side is Lake Washington access and Lake Sammamish access. So these are 2 places that in the summertime people are usually out floating on the access on one of these 2 lakes. Lake Washington, you can enter from like probably all the way up in Juanita in the north, Kirkland, Bellevue, several places, Medina, Newport Shores, Coulon Park down in Renton. So there's about at least six public accesses that I know on the east side. And then Lake Sammamish actually has only 2 public accesses, one in the north and one on the south. There is a private boat launch as well on the west side, but this is a 7-mile lake, Lake Sammamish, so it's a bit smaller than Lake Washington, but you'll have tons of waterfront properties both on the east and west side of the lake, and the north side and the south side. A lot of great views from some of the east side neighborhoods of the lakes and of the Cascades. And number 10, thing you need to know if you're moving to Seattle, East Side Edition, is it's still close enough to Seattle to enjoy all those sports organizations from professional soccer, rugby, baseball, and football, and hopefully basketball someday. So, all right, that wraps up a very long segment, but you needed to know those 10 things if you're thinking of moving to Seattle, East Side Edition. Thanks for watching. We're going to have a short commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk with our good friend Tugger Maxwell. We're going to be talking about down payments. So join us after this short commercial break.
Forum Social House in downtown Bellevue is reopened for Phase 2. Enjoy our chef-cultivated menu, 369